Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of A Piece of New York. Today we're in the West Village, and we're answering the question, is it worth the hype? Breakfast by Salt's Cure. Now, originally opening in 2010 in Los Angeles, they have 2 locations in Los Angeles and 2 in New York City. This first one behind us opened up in 2021. The one over in Brooklyn opened up just this year in 2023. Now, what this place is known for, obviously, Breakfast by Salt's Cure, is their breakfast. Most specifically, their griddle cake. Now, if you go online and take a look at the pictures, the griddle cakes, believe it or not, don't look like they're much to look at. But the flavor and the reviews might say otherwise. Now, it does seem like they do have a tremendous deal when it does come to pricing. So you can order 1 pancake for $5. You can order a stack of the OG, which is 3 pancakes, for $10. Or you can get one of their fruit or chocolate chip-based pancake for $12 as a stack of 3. They do have a number of mixed reviews online, but right now they're blowing up across social media. So let's go inside, check it out, see what they're all about. First impression, I love this place. Very cozy, quintessential West Village spot. You walk in, they have some cool music playing on the speakers. You're greeted by a nice, friendly face. Now, what separated this restaurant from a lot of restaurants that I have been to is it almost looks like, well, it is a sit-down restaurant. But I was expecting to sit down, have the waitress or waiter come over, take my order. That's not the case here. Over here, you have to go walk in, you order at the counter, and they give you a number and they bring your food to you. The menu here is short. It's mostly griddle cakes, which is what they are known for, but they also have their own spin on chicken and waffles, as well as a number of other things. So I'm really excited to try this food today, see what the hype's all about. All right, for you all, we have their 5 griddle cakes. Here we have the OG, and then there's the banana nut. We got the apple with the blueberry, and then chocolate chip. So the OG, it's an oatmeal-based cake served with cinnamon molasses butter. One of the things that you're going to notice when you do walk into this awesome place is that the smells here are going to be overpowering with deliciousness. You got the coffee that's going to wake you up, and then this assortment of all these griddle cakes just makes the mouth water with how sweet they smell. Here we go with that first bite. It smells delicious. I love the crispiness of the outer crust and then the softness of that inner part of the griddle cake. Fantastic. This was a sweet, rich delight. That cinnamon also added a nice little tang to it. They're known for having a long line outside once this place gets cooking. And I understand why, because this OG, this griddle cake was fantastic. I could not oversell it enough with, if you do come here, and I haven't even gotten to the other 4 yet, but just the sweetness of the sugar, the richness of that molasses butter, or the cinnamon molasses butter. I loved it. Good stuff. Next, we have the banana nut. Take a look at that. Banana, one of my favorite fruits, nuts, one of my favorite snacks. So I assume that's going to be pretty good also. Here we go with the griddle cakes. Going to take a nice hearty bite with this guy. Cheers. The nuts are toasted, adding a nice smoky flavor to this griddle cake. Also, that banana, the flavor of the banana really comes out in this griddle cake, obviously because it's banana nut. So where the other griddle cake was much more, had a sharp cinnamon flavor, this was more of a nice sweetness that gradually comes along as you're eating it. I liked it. I still think the OG is number 1, but the banana nut was very tasty as well. You can't go wrong with either order. Next up, we have the apple. Cheers. With the apple, it's much saltier. It's a succulent pancake. Where the other ones were much more sweet, the saltiness of this one, and there was also crispier as well, which was not what I was expecting. Sat down. Expected all these, they look sweet. This one is a salty pancake. It's a little bit different than the other 2. Interesting. I've never had anything like this when it does come to griddle cakes. But yeah, it definitely had a kick to it when you take that first bite into it, and a little bit more crispy on the edge as well. I'm not sure if they did that intentionally, but the burnt edges added the crispiness to it. Next up, we got the blueberry. Spread some of this butter over here. Here we go. Cheers. Our first two griddle cakes were sweet. The next one was salty. This one, I don't want to say it lacks flavor, but the other ones had a dominating flavor where it was just like, this is sweet, this is salty. This, I would enjoy maybe some syrup on this just to give it a little bit more sweetness to it. It also does have the crispiness, that apple pancake that we just had, but it's a lot less defined when it does come to the flavor of this one. If I did have to give a criticism, I would say they need to add more blueberries. I couldn't taste any of the blueberries in this. I even have a blueberry in this next bite. Can't really taste the blueberry in this. It's less defined. When you had the apple and the banana, that definitely went through with the griddle cake. It was very strong flavor. The apple griddle cake, you couldn't taste it as much just because the salt was the dominating flavor in that. But this is a much more less defined flavor, more of the cake, more of like an original pancake if you just had it with almost like a small side of blueberries. Last, we have the chocolate chip. Here we are for our dessert griddle cake. As someone who has a mean sweet tooth, this was one I was really looking forward to. Having chocolate chips in your pancakes, in your griddle cakes, something I always love. So here we go. Cheers. It's made with the dark chocolate. Has a nice, sweet, bitter flavor to it. The bitterness of dark chocolate, which I do love, is fantastic. And the combination of the griddle cake, of the crispiness, it's almost like a cake chocolate chip cookie, where it's really made with a cake flour. What a tremendous breakfast that we did have this morning with these griddle cakes. Well, folks, that concludes our day here in the West Village. And we asked the question at the beginning, is it worth the hype? All over TikTok, all over Instagram. Breakfast by Salt Secure has had a crazy blow up on social media, and people are wondering, should I go? Well, it really was a tale of two stories here. The first story was the good. The OG, it's the OG for original. There's a reason why there's a massive line when you come to Breakfast by Salt Secure, because it's just that sweet cinnamon butter was just fantastic. The texture of the griddle cake was amazing. Absolutely loved it. And then that banana nut was very good as well. I love the smokiness of the nuts, the hint of salt that it did add, and then the sweetness of the banana just came all together with one amazing flavor. Now, unfortunately, the bad, where I think they could have improved. The blueberry pancake, not enough blueberries. Didn't really taste like anything. The apple, could not taste any apple. The reason, it was way too salty. It tasted like I was taking teaspoons of salt and eating them with bread every time I took a bite into it. And then lastly, the chocolate chip, it was just way too bitter. They burnt the chocolate chips. It was too bitter. And then, I mean, if we're judging it by those two pancakes, not worth the hype. If we're judging it by the first two pancakes, the banana nut, the OG, fantastic. Love them. And from everyone over here at A Piece of New York, we just want to say thank you for the views. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you enjoyed the content, give us a subscribe. And we hope you have a great day, better week. Take it easy, y'all. Bye.